Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe. So, let's get into today's video. In today's video, we are bringing back the Queen of Destruction, the one and only Shadow Gardavoir. So, Master Premier does have a lot of dragon types. You obviously got Dragonite, Garchomp, Haxorus. You've also got things like Gyarados that often run Dragon Breath. You even see the occasional Hydreigon. So, with this in mind, Charm has become quite common. However, if you're going to use Charm, I personally hate Charm. You may as well use the most oppressive Charmer of them all. Shadow Gardavoir absolutely deletes any dragon or fighting types with no real issues whatsoever. But obviously it is really going to struggle against those steel types. So we've obviously got the big thick boy Shadow Snorlax on the safe swap. And as a hard punish for them steel types, we have got our legacy Stone Edge Machamp in the back. This team of three did see me go a perfect 5-0. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the battles. In game 1, we pick up an absolutely dreadful lead against Magnezone. A lot of steel types in this meta, however Magnezone is one of the few steel types that actually has got a steel type move. We say switch into Snorlax, they're building up an absolute ton of energy, so we fire off this body slam. We successfully bait the first shield. They can wild charge us, I'm not particularly bothered as Snorlax will survive. They do throw the wild charge and they're still haven't thrown again, so now with the defense debuffed, I don't even have to bait the superpower. The body slam will get the second shield, and it's actually a delayed CMP, which is absolutely beautiful because we can now allow Snorlax to go down. I don't particularly want to reveal my third Pokemon at this stage, so with the Magnezone 2-stage defense debuffed, I'm going to come in with Gardevoir and commit to the farm down. We are going to have to respect this move as a wild charge would probably one-shot, but we managed to get ahead in energy and we've still got one more shield. Let's see what they come in with in the back. The opponent is taking a while. They actually bring out Excadrill. I am looking to try and catch the Rock Slide. However, you can see that our fast moves don't align, so I am going to shield this up. And we've actually now got an absolute ton of energy. I aggressively switch into the Machamp, and in the back they've got a Garchomp. So Machamp Garchomp is a fairly neutral matchup as counter does hit for neutral, and these cross chops are really spammy. They are going to have to take us out with an Outrage or Earth Power, as obviously Santoon wouldn't do enough. Outrage does one shot, and now Gardevoir is going to be able to farm down before they reach a second move. As we said at the start of the video, Gardevoir absolutely deletes any dragon type, and this Shadow Ball will take the steel type out. So Excadrill goes down. GG's to that opponent. We had some weird error there, but moving on into the second battle. Let's see if we can pick up a better lead in this game. So in game 2, we lead our Shadow Gardevoir into Milotic. If this is on Dragon Tail, this would be a pretty good lead. Unfortunately, they are on Waterfall. You can see the Waterfall and Charm about do the same amount of damage. However, they are much quicker to their charge moves. It takes 5 Waterfalls to get to a Surf. So I catch that on my big thick boy Snorlax and I bank the energy on Gardevoir. They bring in Gyarados. Gyarados Snorlax is a fairly neutral matchup. However, we are at a health deficit, but the Gyarados actually opts to shield, so they obviously really want switch. And for me personally, I'm not particularly bothered, as this Dragon Breath Gyarados isn't going to be too much of a problem for my Gardevoir. So away out my switch timer, I am going to commit a shield here in case it's the crunch. They're most likely just going to Aqua Tail, but even an Aqua Tail would do a lot. Shadow Gardevoir is so squishy. It really doesn't want to take any hits whatsoever. We do manage to commit to the farm down. Once again, you can see Charm absolutely shreds through anything that it isn't resisted by. And if it's super effective, it's absolute good night. Back out comes the Milotic. Let's see if they want to give up their second shield. Synchronoise does get the second shield. We switch out into Machamp, and in the back they've got an Excadrill. The Excadrill with no shields really is not going to appreciate this cross chop. Cross chop one shots. Milotic comes back in, and now we can shield this move up or we can let it go. Either way, this is going to be a good game. We shield the Surf up. We're at the cross chop.
and Machamp manages to clutch out this game. You can see that Machamp and Gardavoir do cover each other really nicely, as Gardavoir really doesn't want to see the steel types. Machamp really don't want to see dragons, so pretty good in that respect. And in game 3, we pick up a lead against Haxorus. This is pretty much the dream lead. They switch out into Excadrill. We are a bit slow on the swap. We come in with Machamp. However, because we were quite slow, we are going to have to either take a move or double shield. Drill Run does around 80%. You can see, unfortunately, we are one counter short. However, we are loaded full of energy. I'm going to tank this Drill Run, and I'm hoping to get back-to-back cross chops. However, I've decided I'm just going to go for the Hail Mary. I've got Legacy Stone Edge. I'm going to try and land a Stone Edge. Let's see if the Haxorus respects this. If it goes unshielded, it will do huge damage. The opponent very unfairly shields it up. They do ruin our fun. I did think they'd no shield, especially as they know we've got Gardevoir. They've actually got a Metagross in the back, so this is going to be a bit rough. Snorlax Metagross is fairly neutral in the one shield. I don't want to debuff myself before we've had a Meteor Mash, and I also don't want to reduce the damage that my licks are doing. The Metagross is at the back-to-back move, so I'm going to shield this up. We will also survive the second Meteor Mash, which they'll land here. You're going to see the bulk here of Shadow Snorlax. He's so thick. The Meteor Mash does do a lot of damage. Once again, I am at the superpower. I actually go for the body slam, as I do want to get a slight bit of farm on the Metagross. However, they switch out aggressively to Haxorus. Haxorus isn't going to be able to take out our Gardevoir. This is going to be either a Night Slash or a Dragon Claw. Either way, we don't really have to be too bothered by it. Night Slash is neutral. They get the boost. One more charm takes them out. And we got the Synchronoise locked and loaded. And can we get a Gardevoir? Is a Metagross counter confirmed? GG's to that opponent. Off to a 3-0 start. Let's see what happens in game 4. In game 4, we see a Swampert lead. Swampert's a really interesting pick. It's actually going to be my next upload. With so many Excadrill, Garchomp, Magnezones, etc., Swampert has got some play, although it is really uncommon. We shield up the first. Hydro Cannon. They switch out then into a Charmer of their own. So we chip it down a little bit with a couple of charms. We bring in Snorlax. Snorlax has a really good matchup against Togekiss in the Master League. In all even shielding scenarios. However, we have already committed one shield, so we are going to play out the 0-1 shield. They commit a shield here, and you can see, even down a shield, Snorlax gets to another body slam. This is going to get him so low. Snorlax is such a monster. You can see the Togekiss survives with about 1 HP, maybe a bit more, but it should be in 1 charm range. So I wait out my switch timer, bring back in Gardevoir. 1 charm does take him out. They now bring out Magnezone, and now Machamp could be once again in a prime position to close out this game. The Swampert is a non-shadow, so we would be able to survive 1 Hydro Cannon. However, they're not quite at the back-to-back yet. We now sneak a counter, so we're going to have to try and under-tap. If we under-tap this move, we will manage to take him out without taking a move. So you can see there, I stopped tapping the screen. I waited a second, and as soon as the move lighted up, I hit the charge move. So we don't have to take a Hydro Cannon. They now are going to have to fire off a Wild Charge to take us out, which they do. And now Gardevoir is only 2 charms away from the Shadow Ball, and this Shadow Ball is going to take them out. So, GG's to the opponent. This is now the second time in the video you've seen Gardevoir take out a Steel type. So, we're now 4-0 in the set. Moving on into the 5th and final battle. Once again, you could see how Machamp and Gardevoir cover each other really nice. In come the Magnezone. The Machamp absolutely deletes that thing. So they do cover each other really nicely. So in the final battle of the video, we see a Mamoswine. Mamoswine is a bit problematic for this team, as it does beat Snorlax, as it is really spammy. Gardevoir doesn't want to take an Avalanche, but we do have a hard counter in the back with Machamp. So we do manage to catch the Avalanche. They now come in once again with Gyarados. We do get to this body slam, which should do a nice bit of chip damage. You can see that Gyarados doesn't have that much bulk in the Master League. It's still quite squishy. We get it down into the yellow. The opponent looked like they were trying to commit to the Dragon Breath down. However, our big bulky Snorlax was still having too much HP. So they do dump a bit of energy. So now we can come back in with Gardevoir. I'm actually going to shield this move up because I know I am going to get a shield back in return with whatever comes in, because if it's a steel type, they're not going to take a Shadow Ball. If it's the Mamoswine, they're not going to want to take any move from Gardevoir. So they actually bring in a Milotic. We go for the Synchronize. We do let a Waterfall through, which is a bit rough. We're now going to have to try and get this Milotic as low as possible. You can see we've got them down to around 40% HP. They're now at 10. I'm not sure on the counts for Hyper Beam. I know Blizzard is 11. I'm not sure if Hyper Beam is 10. However, we shield up the first Surf. This can only be a Surf now. We do sneak yet another counter through. So the opponent stays in. We manage to counter down. And this Mamoswine really is not going to appreciate this cross chop. So the first one is going to draw the shield. And this second one is going to take that game. So Machamp once again in the closing position is absolutely lethal in the Master Premier. So those were the battles using Shadow Gardavoir. You can see we didn't really have many favourable leads. We only really saw one lead that we liked, which was Haxorus. The rest were leads that were winnable, but they would come down to us obviously going into a shield deficit, which isn't really something you want to do. So we was relying on our Snorlax. However, you did see that the synergy between Machamp and Gardevoir was really nice, because all them hard loss leads, we had a really hard punish in the back with Machamp. So if you enjoy this type of content and you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, because I'm really trying to grow the channel. We're getting towards 1,000 subs, and I'd just like to say thanks to everyone that has supported me so far. It's been a great journey, and we're actually almost back at Legend for the second time using only Shadow Pokemon. In the coming few days, I am going to start showing you some of the teams I have used to gain a lot of Elo. So just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.